Okay, that was a little stressful. Been taking my wife to work yesterday, so that threw me off getting up early. Then we stayed up late because she wanted to go to BJ's restaurant. And I said, yes, I do. I do want to go. But got back after my bedtime. So then had a hard time waking up this morning to do my drawing, which I knew that was going to happen. Been doing it for so many years. And it left me, by the time I was ready, left me 30 minutes to do what normally takes me, or I like to have the time for about an hour. So I did get it done, did get it priced. I'm running, in my mind, about 20 minutes behind is what I say, but I'm not actually running that far behind because I allowed an hour. Now I have 40 minutes. It takes about 45 minutes to get there. I always call and confirm, just to let people know that I'm on my way. And they always appreciate that. If I'm running a little bit behind, which can happen a lot because of traffic is just crazy sometimes. I mean, I've literally been an hour late on some jobs where I left an hour and a half earlier, and it took me 2.5 hours to get there because just a bad time of the day. So I was watching a guy yesterday named L. Thornton, I think, and he's from Michigan. And he was a driver, that did the food driving stuff where he takes stuff to, I think Uber Eats. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, he was doing a couple of different things where he's picking up the stuff at the store. And I mean, it's probably very mundane, what he was doing. But I found it very, very interesting. And I thought, well, maybe people will find it interesting if I talk while I'm driving. Not like a maniac, but I'm driving fast to get to my appointment. I never drive fast. I mean, I'll drive a little bit fast, but my wife always likes to tell me whenever we're going somewhere, are you going to drive the whole way like an old man? And I always tell her yes, because I am an old man and I don't like to be rushed. I know it's dramatic, but I always say I'd rather get there alive than to be early and be dead. So I just take my time, and I'm not going to run through red lights. I do not do that. And I'm going to make sure I stop at all the stop signs. I do that. I'm just going to, go there as fast as I can. But sometimes we'll be rolling, and I'll be on my way, and then all of a sudden there's a massive accident, mostly from people driving too fast. Not me, somebody else. And I've been seeing a lot of accidents lately. A lot of people are on the road. If you don't know who I am, my name is David Dixon. I live in Lodi, California, which is Northern California, and I'm a pool salesman. I've been designing pools for 40 years, and I started with the company I'm with 28 years ago. I should be retired because I'm an old fart, but I'm not going to retire. I like my job. I enjoy meeting the customers. In fact, this is my first appointment that I've had this year, new appointment for the year. And prior to that, I was just screwing around. So it was really nice to go out and meet somebody. I can tell I am super rusty because didn't do too much over Christmas. And so end up opening my mouth, putting my foot in my mouth. So this gives me like 40 minutes of calming down time, and I can usually think about what I'm going to do. On this first appointment that I had, turn this off. One of the things that was kind of weird is when I got there, she seemed to be very frazzled, the lady. And so sometimes that could be like, I don't like you. I don't want to get a pool estimate. I don't know why you're here, but I did call her and confirm that she seemed very, very nice over the phone. So I never take it personally. I mean, you could tell me some pretty bad stuff, and I've had bad stuff told to me over the years. I don't even take it personally. It has nothing to do with me, I try to be, I do the same thing over and over and over and over, and that's how you can get consistent sales. Is that you know where you're at, where you're in the sales process, and then where you're going. And so I always find it irritating because sometimes my wife or friends of ours will say things like, oh, that guy is a natural salesman. I go, the guy over there that talks all the time? Oh yeah, I think he's a natural salesman. Well, they're saying it because he doesn't seem to have any fear in talking, but he also has no point. I mean, he can talk for a long time and there's no point. In sales, you don't have to be, gregarious and, humorous and all this other stuff. Most people don't want that, especially in the times that we live in where time is so precious. To me, you just have to be one main thing, and that's honest. If you're not honest, or they catch you in lies and stuff, then it's not going to go well for you. I remember a long, long time ago, I'm going to say 28 years ago, I went to a customer's house, and there were these two old people. I mean, the guy looked really bad. He was like sitting in a wheelchair. And the lady was an older lady, I would say in her 80s. And as I was talking, I could tell she was old school. And as we were talking, she would ask me a question. Well, I have a question for you, Dave. And then she would ask me a question. And then I would answer it, the best way that I could. And then after I answered it, if she didn't like the answer, she would do this. Lick her finger and put a 1 there, like a 1. And I said, so after she did that like a couple of times, I go, do you mind me asking you, I think her name was like Esther. Esther, do you mind me asking you, why are you writing these 1s in the air? She goes, oh, those are the 3 1s that I have that are against you. And you have 2 1s that are for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the goal is to get as many positives, right? And she goes, yep, that's positive. Well, I could already tell, that she was a tough lady to deal with from other things that I saw in there. It was a brand new house. And so I pretty much made it up in my mind that, oh, I'm not signing her up, that's for sure. So my meeting went from a meeting of efficiency to a meeting of just being nice and just having a nice talk, asking her where she's from, asking this, asking that, and asking her about her husband, how long they've been married. It just turned into like a real long talk. I mean, I still got through the appointment and got the design and everything else. And you know what? I ended up selling that pool, even though I had a lot more strikes against me than I did for me. And I know the reason is that I became friendly with her and she felt like I was a friend. So that's another part of being a good salesman, is being able to establish rapport rapidly. I mean, you can't wait for like 3 or 4 months to establish rapport. You've got like 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes, you got like an hour on the first one, and you have to establish rapport. Yesterday, when I went to my first appointment for 2025, the lady was really standoffish, and then I said, is everything okay? Oh, I'm just waiting for this damn spa guy. He's supposed to be here. I have a bad back. I bought this brand new spa. They were not able to, hook it up, or they hooked it up, but I don't know how to operate it. Nobody's telling me what to do. I can't get the temperature up. I go, oh my gosh. I go, I am so sorry. I go, I would help you, but I don't know anything about spas. And she goes, no, he's supposed to be here. I go, well, I'll tell you what, whenever he gets here, we'll just stop whatever we're doing, and you spend the time with him, because that's way more important than a swimming pool design. And she's like, I really appreciate that. And the whole tone of the meeting, went better. After I did the pool design with her, which I do want to take you guys in on a pool design, but I don't know how I'm going to approach the customer about that. Most people probably don't want to be on YouTube. But anyway, we did the pool design, and then I could tell, she wanted to talk. She likes to talk. And she was just telling me about her life story, about her father recently passed, and how she inherited this house as one of his houses that he had. She has money, set aside. She did ask me about the price, and normally as a salesman, you don't want to tell them the price because there's no reason to meet with you on the second appointment. So you really want to tell them ranges, ranges. And a range for me would probably be, 60 to 70,000 is what a pool goes for now. Always trying to think, well, it's got that really tight access. It's only 6 foot wide. and our standard tractor is 8 foot. So that means you have an additional cost for the tractor, and it's going to take longer to dig it. Typically about $6,400 is what we figure. If you go directly with the excavator, it would be more like $4,800. So companies always charge more, as they pass it through. So that's what I was going to tell her that, and then I could tell that she seems like she inherited a lot of money. So I went a little bit lower and said, yeah, I have these pools that I recently did, and I opened my book and I just start reading backwards. Now this one here was $58,500. This one was $59,000. This one here was $61,000. This was $62,000. These are people that were actually started a pool, and we signed them up on a contract. And I think a lot of times people like to hear that. So after she kind of had an idea, you're kind of looking for signals from them. Like I've had some people say, "Oh my God, I thought a pool was $35,000." And I joke, I say, well, you can build half a pool for $35,000. But I recently had one last year that was that way. My last one actually for 2024 was that way. And so you got to listen for these signs. People are telling you what they don't want to tell you. And once I kind of found out she had extra money and everything, I said, oh, well, what do you think about a waterfall? She goes, oh, I would like it, but I don't know how much they cost. And then I just say things like $3,000. That's what a waterfall costs. Now it's actually $2,650, but you got to run the plumbing, you got to run the valve. All that's depending on how far the waterfall is from the pool. But $3,000 is pretty safe. She goes, that's not bad. I go, well, it's not good. I always try to make a little fun about the pricing, because it is kind of ridiculous. But there's a lot of work that goes into a rock waterfall. So I showed her the video of my pool, which is good, establish your credibility again, and she can see what my pool looks like. And then I always like to point out that pool was 18 years ago. So I'm taking a video of a pool that's 18 years old. And she's like, wow, that rock looks really great. Well, yeah, because the rock will be there forever. When we're all gone, those rocks will still be there. So she liked the look of it. So I said, well, why don't we just put one over here? And so I designed it in there. I said, I can design it in the price, and then we can take it out, of the pricing.